Hey guys, wait till you see what kind of mistakes I made at Norwalk. It's, I would call it a rookie mistake. Stay tuned.
What we need to do, I just thought about it when you guys were walking over here. How funny would it be to have like a specific intro, but it'd be like the Brady Bunch? So it'd be Bird just working on his shit, and it'd be like...
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. We'll get some Fresca and vodka out now.
So when did you turn 21?
January. Hey, that worked really good.
What we need to find to set up the work.
Any better?
That tastes a lot better.
Really?
Still bad, but
Because it tastes like water, don't it? With a little piss in it. Tightened all my A arms up. They're all good.
What about that U joint?
I can't see it from down here, so I'm not sure how to get up underneath there. Just have to use a jack, and I don't know if my jack can get up underneath there.
So as you know, we took the Nova front end and put on a Mustang 2 front type of front end on it. And I was scared beyond belief, not knowing what it was going to do going down that track. I've been worrying about it ever since we put it on. Not that I distrusted our work or Corey's work on getting the chassis set up and the alignment put on, but when I did my little first test drive down the road, it wanted to kind of wander us a little bit when there was a rut in the road. The steering was really tight, whereas before, you know, you had a little bit of cushion there, so it felt totally different. And when we got up to Norwalk, it just, driving it around the pits, I did it like 3 or 4 times just to see if I can figure out if it's going straight or not. The steering wheel wanted to kind of turn to the left a little bit as I was going down, kind of reminiscent of the way Bowling Green was. So I told the guy that I was racing in the first race, who I ended up racing multiple times this whole weekend, which is odd. As you know, we kind of just go up there during qualifications, and whoever you get's who you get. And I happened to get the same guy twice in qualifications and once in eliminations. But I told him before the race, I said, listen, I'm going to sit back when the light turns green. I'm going to sit back and let him go. And then I'm probably going to let out about halfway down the track just to make sure that the brakes was working, make sure it was going straight and everything. I also lowered the two-step down to 3,000. I usually launch at 5,000. So I did that, and nervous as a nervous little Nelly or bee, I don't know, whatever it is. So here's what happened. That run was the game changer for me. It took off straight. It was going down the track straight. I didn't feel like I had to fight the wheel at all. I mean, it was pretty much just driving itself straight down the track. And I just stayed on it. I was like, it's not doing anything out of the ordinary. So I just stayed in it, and even with me trying to take it easy, I did a 992 in the quarter, which is, that's 800s too fast. I need to stick at 10.
Good too.
Oh my God, that thing went straight as nhra. I've never seen that car go so straight.
I know, right? I thought it was like, it was going so straight I didn't even have to drive, and I was like, I'm just gonna stay in
I thought
it.
you were going to go slow, and I looked up, you just flying like a dart. Yeah, that thing went as straight as I've ever seen it go.
Yeah, and I launched slow too. Well, how are we gonna slow you down? You gotta take more timing out?
Oh, we probably should check the time.
Hey, we got weight.
We got the weight. I could add
70 pounds.
Yeah, maybe 50.
I was really surprised. I was expecting to do something. Now you know how it feels to drive this. With the exception of if I have a bad launch, it'll push me, and if I get out of the groove, it'll drag me to the wall or to the center. So at that point, I have to drive it. But if I stay in the groove and the tires stay look, I could let go of the wheel.
Well, that's pretty much what it was, and I was nervous as hell. Now I'm like, all right.
So did some few little things, conversed with Corey about what, how it did, and we decided to change the shift point. It was sitting at 6,800, and we decided to turn it down to 6,400, put my launch RPM back to 5,000. It was going straight, baby. So we decided we're going to just give it hell. And this is what happened. So we get back, I get my time slip, and lo and behold, it did a 990. A 990. It went faster that time than the first time. And now I've got to figure out how to slow this thing down. But it still went straight. And it was such a good feeling. The nerves were all gone that pass. I felt like I could focus on actually focusing on my reaction times and my my finish line driving and so forth, instead of worrying about if it was going to go down the track straight or not.
Not enough. Nonetheless, it ain't terrible. How'd it feel though?
Oh, gosh.
Faster than the first
I
time.
know. It took off like a banshee. I beat him up. I don't know his reaction.
I know, but
He never
171 red.
Who was? 171 red?
I just
right now, Bob. I don't know what Bill's slipping down here. I got an 03
That's not bad. I had a 29. That's
Yeah. But he was never.
10:02. That's good.
Yeah, that's good for him, yeah.
So you need roughly a 10 pounds. But you sped up. You were 92 and went to 90.
Yeah, I spent about 2 miles an hour on my.
She likes that front end.
Dude, I was cruising along.
It was straight as well.
I couldn't believe it.
It's amazing. You know, go ahead.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes. You are amazing.
So my third round, we actually went up 2 teeth on the pulley, on the top pulley for the blower. Thing that's gonna slow me down. I did not change my shift point because I only wanted to change one thing at a time. So it was either gonna add weight to the car, or we're gonna change the pulley. So decided to go up 2 teeth on that, and then got out there and raced Bob Perkins, who is an excellent driver, who is pretty consistent all the time. And for whatever reason, my finger ever so slightly released the trans brake button and then pushed it again. And you can actually see here where the tire actually starts to turn and then stops and then takes off. It slipped off and caused me to have a red light, but it still counted as my qualifying run regardless of the red light. So it still was like a green light. He was a 950 car, so he was going to be faster than me anyways. But I got down there at 10:01 with a 4, and that put me in the 11th in qualifying. And I was the first driver to have an 01. Everybody else was 00. They were dead on with a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or 4. So 10 guys were 00 whatever. Very tight field. Regardless, that was a very inaccurate run for me because I did the trans brake blip there, which caused my 60-foot time to go down or be elevated, so it was slower. So the time really wasn't all that accurate. If I went into our computer program and went back to a normal run, it would have predicted a 999. But it really didn't give me an indication of what the pulley change did, which is kind of important. It's the reason why you only do one thing at a time, so you can see what that change actually did. If you try to change 3 or 4 different things at the same time, you're not gonna know what does what. And they may counteract each other. So, but I was pretty happy with the run. It got me in a good position as far as qualifying, got me on the right side of the board, and I was pretty happy with it.
Well, I think I let off and then pushing back and it stuttered. I got to take my data. Something happened, so I don't think I was an accurate run. I think I'm still faster than this. But 201, I'll take it to be on the other side of the.
Again, we have called.
So going into my first round of elimination, the nerves are coming back just a little bit because it's elimination. This could be the very last one for my weekend there at Norwalk, and I raced a guy that. Well, let me back up. I was either going to race the guy that was sitting in front of me or the guy that was in back of me, and the guy in front of me, Mark Berry, I've raced him 2 other times in eliminations, and both times I red lit on him. And he's pretty consistent too. I knew that if I raced him, I was gonna have my hands full. The guy that was behind me is the guy I ended up racing though. I had never met him before, but he's a really nice guy. I talked to him a little bit before the race to do lane choice and so forth. I kind of looked to see what he was, how well he had done all weekend, and I think he was having a hard time getting down to 10 seconds. So we get out there and we race, and this is what happens. a lot faster than I anticipated. And as you can see, he was way out in front of me. He was running like a 950. I'm sure his car runs a lot faster in 10 seconds. I'm sure it's a 950 car. And he jumped way out in front of me. I got him on the line, but he passed me pretty quick. And I don't think he realized how far ahead of me he was. And you could see him slam on the brakes or just let out, dump it. And it did not work out in his favor. I blipped it one time just to make sure I didn't go under my index, but he was so far ahead of me, there was just no way he was going to pull it off. And I want to say his time was like a 9.78 maybe. So he was going way too fast. So I lucked out. And as you know, those of you that drag race know that luck plays a big part in you winning or losing. And that was luck on my side. The second round of eliminations. Now I have a round 2 curse on me right now. I cannot get past round 2 for whatever reason. And going back to all my past runs that I've done, it's always been a stupid mistake on my part. I'm the one that's stupid. I'm the one that makes a little idiotic move. And this is no exception. So I ended up having to race the way we pulled in there into the staging lanes. I ended up racing Arnie again, who has the white Maverick, who I raced in qualifying 1 and 2. And both those times I was able to pull away from him and get to the line first. And, you know, I didn't count him out though. One of the biggest things is you can't ever count your opponent out because you don't know what they've done between rounds, and he's a good driver and his car's fast. So I think I'm just gonna let the video speak for itself. So let's show you what I did, and you can kind of see, or see if you can see what I did wrong. If you only knew what was going through my mind. I'm ahead of Arnie, and my thinking is I don't want to break out. I don't want to break out. And so I'm a good car length ahead of him. And I'm going to whomp it a couple times. Whomp it a couple times. Couple. And I think I counted 5 or 6 times that I actually whomped it to stay just ahead of him. My problem was I whomped it one too many times, and it allowed him to lunge forward on me just enough that he beat me. Get this, beat me, crossed the line before me by 0.002. That's 2 thousandths of a second. My reaction time was superior to his by at least 1/10 of a second, I believe. And I gave it all back to him at the line. I wanted to stay just enough ahead of him. I whomped it one too many times, and he passed me by 2 thousandths of a second. 2 thousandths. Stupid me. great learning experience for me. I ended up doing like a 10-14. So I had plenty of time. All I needed to do was whomp it maybe once or twice, and I would have been fine. I would have stayed ahead of it. I would have moved on to round 3. Again, my second round curse, but I'm happy for Arnie. He got past that round, got the extra points. He did well that whole weekend. Proud of him, man. Good job, Arnie. But for me, my weekend was over.
Gave it back to him.
I thought we were neck and neck. I walked it one too many times. He beat me by .002.
Yeah, but did you see his reactions?
Yes, I killed him.
I know. You did 24.
But that's the thing. That's like the credit learning experience. I didn't know where I was. I knew I was ahead of him. And my first thought is, I can't let him pass me. But I walked it one too many times.
How many times you won?
3 or 4.
Yeah, that's too many. You should have only done 2. You need to learn how many whomps to whomp on.
Exactly. I don't get to do the whomping very often.
That shit, you had .1 on him. That's all you had to kill.
But I didn't know that.
You killed that much.
I know, but I didn't know. Just how do you know that? Is it just experience that you know that?
With a .1, you have to trust the time you had. If he was nowhere near that,
Right, I didn't trust the
if
time.
he was nowhere near you, you whomp it just enough to get under your index, and that's it. You don't Robbie Friels
Well, that's what I did.
You heard Robbie Friels do it, you're like, that's what I want to do.
That's exactly what I did.
Hey, I still owe Robbie some money too. Thank you, Levi.
I'm gonna run over there. Congratulate real quick. I'll be right back.
Hey.
Welcome, lunch and meantime.
It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G.
Snoop Dogg. Congratulations, man. You deserve it.
Yeah, you ripped it just a little early.
I did.
I was coming up.
I killed you on the tree and I gave it all back to you.
You killed me.
Yeah.
I just caught you at the end and I was like, well, is it gonna, and then you started to fade back and I was charging.
Yep.
It's like,
I whomped one too many times and you nosed me.
I think you did it more than one too many. I think you did
Probably two too many times.
I let off 2 though.
Did you?
Oh, I break. Because I normally, I've been running 132. So I actually breaks. Not hard.
Yeah.
I hit him right